What up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome back to Today's the Day with Zack Andersen. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Today's the Day with Zack Andersen. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Today's the Day. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Today's the Day. Much love to everybody. Today's the day. What up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome back. You know who it is. You got Zack Andersen here with a little announcement that I couldn't be more excited for. We're coming to the end of season 1. It's been a blast. It's been honestly better than I could have hoped for it to be. Thank you to the guests. Thank you to everybody listening. And then obviously thank you to the 98 boys making it happen. I appreciate all of you guys. Couple things on that. Towards this season 1 closeout, we're going to have a few more solo episodes and then some compilation episodes where we'll go and take the best nuggets from the best interviews across the entire season and create a good episode for you guys. So make sure you tune into those. Those will be like a very compact, just golden nugget filled episode. I hope you guys love those. And then that rolls us into a very, very short and vague announcement onto season 2. Season 2 is going to be even bigger, even better than season 1. A little bit more in depth with some of your guys' favorite people that we've already interviewed. And then some very, very, very cool new guests and a new vibe that we're going to bring in. I'm super excited for, not to mention some new merch we're going to be doing, potentially some events that we're going to be doing, so on and so forth. So I couldn't be more excited for season 2, and I've absolutely loved season 1. And yeah, stay tuning in, you guys. You guys are going to miss out if you don't, so stay tuning in. And as always, much love. Until next time. In my opinion, the times where I'm the most fulfilled and also accomplishing the most, so on and so forth in life, is if I'm approaching things with the perspective of like, today's the day. Like, this is all I've got. Tomorrow, you have no idea. Yep. Yesterday's already done, so today's the day. Yep. And we're really particular about who we bring on, in the sense of we only want people that kind of live that, whether they realize it or not. And clearly you obviously do. Like, there's no way to go and do what you've done unless you do. If you were to have one piece of advice for anybody as to why that might be important, or how that came to be with you, whatever it may be, the importance of that, what would it be? Or one bit of advice to make sure you're approaching life with that perspective.
I became good friends with the dean, I think the former dean of the law school at BYU, and everybody's heard the statement from Stephen Covey, which is begin with the end in mind, which I actually think is important. You have to have like kind of something you're working towards.
Yep.
I think he actually kind of twisted that statement in a way that I loved and really, really, really resonated with me, which is, I think a lot of people don't like begin because they're not totally sure what the end is going to be. And there's a lot of uncertainty around it. And it's like, what if I fail? And so they focus a lot on the end, and it prevents them from actually beginning, because it's like, oh, it's like, I can't do that, or it's too, I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to, whatever. It's like the fear of beginning, because it's like you're looking at the end.
Yeah.
And he actually had a statement which I love, which is just begin.
Yeah.
Like, and I can tell you that that like rung true to me, like to my core, because I think what happens is I've always kind of thought, oh, here's what my end is.
Yeah.
And then I'll go begin. And I'll very quickly realize like the end that I thought I wanted was like not anywhere near. And because like I learned by beginning, I'm like, oh, all those things I thought about or thought were true are not true. Exactly. This was a stupid idea. This didn't work. This was like, and then what I realized was it was actually the process that was teaching me, like the process of like beginning and doing.
Yeah.
And so then what's important is how fast can I iterate? Meaning if I have an idea, it's really important to just begin and like go do something today to like make that idea become a reality.
Yeah.
Because the idea you start with never ever is the thing you end
Finish
up
with.
doing. And so actually doing becomes way more important than like imagining the end. I think there's a lot of people that waste a ton of time trying to imagine the end. Now,
Yeah.
there's a balance. You have to have something you're kind of working towards.
Yeah.
And so I when people come and like people come and say, "Hey, I want to be an entrepreneur." I'm like, "Well, it's super easy." They're like, what do I have to do? Say, start a business. That's like what an entrepreneur does. Like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, start a company. Well, I don't know. I'm like, well, nobody does. Like, go sell lemonade. If you go start a lemonade stand, you're an entrepreneur. Like, that's how you become one. Um, and I'm really, really big on that, which is today's day. It's like just begin with the end in mind is good. What's better is just begin.
Yeah.
Try something.
Yeah.
Like go try something. Even if it fails, you'll be way better off having done something today that fails than like not done something because you were scared to fail.
If you live as though today is going to be your last day, you are going to go and get so much more out of life and so much more fulfillment, so much more accomplishment, all of the above. But I think people have certain things that happen or ways that go and shape the way they look. Is there anything in your life, maybe we've already talked about it even, where it's like, dude, that was like that's why I look at things the way I do.
So when it comes down to that, the answer to that question may be a little different than what you might be looking for. It may not be a specific event. I'm sure I could think of some, and I think a lot of them in my childhood with my dad, we were raised and stuff. Totally has been that. I had amazing parents, and then he was deployed in war a lot, and so I think our perspective was just a little different on some things there, but and maybe that's something we go into another time. The one that does come to mind is, and I think it was either Todd or Casey, and it may have been in this podcast or when Todd was just when we heard him spoke last. I don't remember when that was, but he said one of them said they were just talking about how the little things like really do matter, and how oftentimes there's a quote that a lot of people kind of stand by that's like, oh, don't worry about the little things. Like, the little things don't matter, right? And I when they said that, I that resonates with me a lot because I really share that perspective. Just because to me, the major things, the big things, are your people's idea of you at a distance.
Yeah.
Like it's what they see in social media. It's your accomplishments and maybe your failures, but you maybe try to hide those a little bit to them anyways.
Yeah.
Right? So that's their idea of you at a distance. When people really get to know you, they don't get to know you for who you are, they get to know you for how you are. And how you are is just a culmination of all the little things. It's all the little things you do. It's how you treat people. It's how you treat random people you don't know. It's how you treat your mom. It's your willingness to do something that's out of your way. It's being out of your box, right? If you've ever read Leadership and Self-Deception, it's the little things. And the little things are what create who you actually are. And when you meet somebody, that's what creates your perspective of them. And so I get so all the time, and it's maybe because I know my like social media, I look like a douche, total douche. A few years ago, I had a fitness phase where like every picture I had figured out some way to be shirtless. Anyways,
And you were tan as hell.
yeah, the beds are working.
You look great. You look great.
But point is, like, I meet people so many times, like all the time, if they've ever like maybe followed me on social media before then, and then meet me, and I'm not trying to like brag by saying this. It feels weird to talk about it, but it's like I get all the time that I'm so much different than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Or I'm so much nicer or sweeter.
Which is the best compliment in the world.
I'm so much different than they thought I was.
Yeah.
Right. And it's because of the little things. And so when it comes down to that, and today's the day, dude, today is when all the little things happen. Right? Like today is a microcosm of your life.
Yep.
And it applies in everything. It even applies in the simple day of knocking. Like the little things are what's going to really matter because they compound into the big ones.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've always adopted that mindset of like the little things are what really matter because it shapes who you are, shapes people's perspective of you,
Yeah.
how they feel about you, everything. It's the little things.
I love it.
And so yeah, I'd really say is that.
Dude, that's I love that wasn't an answer I was expecting. That's amazing. So if you had anything to speak on that, as far as like today's the day, obviously you live that way. What would that be? If there was any advice you have towards seeing life that way or approaching life that way?
Look, I think I actually love that. And as you're saying that, I'm sitting there thinking, like, when you, the thing that I don't know why it stands out to me, but it's the small detail that matters. If you're going to live the day today, it's the small details that matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the big stuff. Big stuff kind of accumulates over time by all the small stuff. You never have a massive impact on yourself or anyone in one moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little things that add up to the big things.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you're going to maximize the day, like, you know, Andy, like, how do I maximize the day for Andy? And now I have the time to do it. Dump the garbages out, do laundry. This is going to sound crazy, but like, she is my day right now.
You're making breakfast.
I'm making
I've
breakfast.
seen it. Yeah.
I make the bed in the way that now the way I'd make the bed, if it was just me, it would be a little bit different, but I'm making it the way Andy would make it. So it's, you know, whoever you're with and you're surrounded by, like, if you want to maximize the day, what's the phrase again?
Today's the day.
Today's the day. It's like, start with the little stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if you bypass the little stuff to chase the big stuff's not coming.
Yeah. It's so true.
You know, like, I'll say, like, with my kids, I have kids, like, they don't care that, you know, I was invested with Eric Woodley in a company called Dented. We just sold for, no one talks about this because it's a crappy number, $505 million on the 23rd of December. I thought it was pretty good, but it's
not notable. It's
not $1 billion. So
it's not notable.
You know, whatever. And that was 20 months from kind of zero to exit. But my kids don't care about that. They just don't. But, you know, what Elle cares about, you know, in today's the day is, I saw her in the car in the G-Wagon the other day. My kids are driving G-Wagons. Oh my gosh. They don't own them. They're borrowing them, but
they're not theirs.
She looked sad. And so I could have and I had stuff going on and people coming over. And I fortunately hey, how are you? You know, how are you doing? Boom, she starts bawling. And we just sit and chat in the car.
Mm-hmm.
That's today's the day. Like be awake and aware of what's going on around you. And some people say don't sweat the small stuff. I say sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
Sweat the small stuff.
I love
now that doesn't mean stress over the small stuff.
Yeah.
But sweat the small stuff in a way that you're paying attention to detail with people around you, because that's all they care about.
Yep.
They don't care that, you know, truthfully, like, that something massive happened, like Dentif sold. They care, you know, my daughter cares, did you notice that I was sad?
Yeah.
Are we having real conversations?
Yeah.
Like, that's
so
it.
good. That's so, and I mean, that's perfect. And no one's hit on that, actually, surprisingly, but it makes perfect sense, because if you get so consumed, because big things will consume you very, very quickly. Yeah. And if you get consumed by big things, you'll just bypass those small things. But like you literally said, the small things are what create the big things.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is, I mean, that's so gold.
All your small little choices and decisions lead up to the results.
Yep.
And it's, you know, and that's also like in relationships, like, you know, I've been married 28 years. A bad day, and we have Andy and I have tough days. 28 years of marriage, and she's married to me. It's not one thing that made her mad. It's a culmination of me being forgetful or not listening properly, or all these little
skipping over the little things.
Yeah, the little things. And then I'm like, and then she's like, "Oh, you're focused on, you know, you're not focused on me." I'm like, "Dang, you're right. Sorry."
Yeah.
Let me slow it down. I'm not as important as I thought I was, and but you are. And boom, slow it back. Little focus, little detail.
That's so gold.
So focus on the detail.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. As always, it was a blast for me. I hope you got something out of this. If you got something out of this video of value, share this with a friend, and please go show your love. We're on all streaming platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Any ratings, comments, likes, shares, they go a very long way, and they make it so I can keep doing these things for you, and I would appreciate it greatly. So please go share with a friend. Until next time.